So, somewhat unexpectedly, the 7th anniversary gacha is here, along with some spicy surprises. First of all, I am going to bring attention to the fact that I have acquired a very small and reasonable pile of free Saint Quartz. Ding! Arcwade is here. But in addition to that, we also have the GSSR and the unexpected Destiny Order Summon. I'm gonna be leaving the Destiny Order Summon for last, but I will be doing the GSSR first, because I already know that this is what I'm going to be picking. 50-50 chance of getting a classes servant, plus I really like Bassett. So without further ado, let us see what I get out of this. I don't really mind which one of those three it's going to be, and I certainly won't mind Bassett either. Dorman and Oberon are kind of whatever, but it is what it is, I suppose. Although Jack de Moray is probably my favorite of the bunch, and well, I have all three of them at NP1, but I think that would be the most beneficial upgrade for me to get. And of course, as usual, in the extra category we just get an unlimited supply of Salieris. I really wish that Xufu was already in here, but what can you do? Also, I did get Bassett. Kinda. Yeah. Okay. Probably the second best thing I could have gotten. Won't say no to that. And of course there's the SR in here. Should have expected that first. And that looks like a Hephaestion. Alright. I would have preferred double X, because she is limited, but Hephaestion is not NP5, so that's fine by me. Now let's see if we can go above and beyond on this one. Okay, well, I can't say I'm disappointed in these results. Alright, like I said, I'm going to leave Destiny Order for last. And real quick, one painted roll at this, because I can, and who's going to stop me? Give me more Summer Brune. That is absolutely not Summer Brune, whatever. Okay, single roll at this, surely it'll go fine. Immediate arc. No. Okay, so here's the thing. I obviously will get arc for free in here. That's not even a question. I have over 1,000 free Saint Quartz, so I will still stop at one arc though, because I don't really care getting more than one with my current budgeting, and god do I need these Saint Quartz for summer. But Xufu, on the other hand, I would really like to see 5 copies. I did a few simulated rolling sessions beforehand, and one of those ended me getting 5 arcs before I got 5 Xufus. And I don't think I'm going to be spending that much Saint Quartz to get 5 Xufus, but it would be very funny and helpful if that happened. But yeah, they sure threw a few surprises into the whatever anime con panel they had going on. I already forgot the name because I am the exact opposite of American. I don't know what that means. So they announced the Fate Stay Night free servant bonus that's JP got a while ago when they announced that Fate Stay Night would finally be officially released worldwide, in which you get to pick one of the 7 servants that are definitely in the game and no more. There's no more than 7 of them. And you also get a CE that is based on various scenes of those servants in the game, and this poses a problem for collectors, because go figure, everyone is going to be taking the 5-star servants. I won't. I'm taking Medusa and nobody will stop me. I don't know why anyone would want to stop me. That's just, like, in their minds that's going to be an objectively bad decision to skip on a free SSR, but screw that. I'm taking the CE and you will not stop me. I don't know why I said that again. Anyways, that roll, it gave me one of the CEs, but other than that it's not very impressive. Also, I did not download the data, so I saw that something was coming. And it looks like that something is not a Dobrynia Nikitic. Okay, the NP3 could have been worse. In this case, obviously the SRs don't matter because there are no raid ups, so it can be whatever. I'm fine with that. And Nikitic is one of the better things I could possibly be drawing at this point. Okay, that was an unnecessarily long pause. So it had to download the animation. Indeed. Easy arc, 60 seconds. I was going to offer people the joy of getting to see me do my Arcwade voice based on the original Tsukihime and nothing else, if we hit like 300 Senquarts before we get Arc as the strongest catalyst, but I guess having a copy of Tsukihime Remake right next to me was good enough for that, so such is life. Now, while the remake does say that the art book, or the materials book rather, should only be read after you've played the game, I already know most of the stuff that's actually in there, and I took critical note of the fact that there is, in the game, an arc that has classes, and they need to add that as a costume ASAP, just for me. Why would they do that? I don't know, but they should do it anyways, and that looks to be my first Xufu. I don't even have all the CEs yet. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't quit yet. Please tell me that's a second arc, by the way. I was hoping that would at least be Herc. Because somehow he is the only 4-star servant, except for like the recent ones, that I don't have at NP5. Unfortunately, that's the 5-star CE, so now I just need the 3-star one, and I don't think that's going to be too hard to get. It was not too hard to get. So this would be the point where I stop, in theory, but I won't. God, I love Xufu. Alright, 4 more copies of Xufu coming right up. That said, Arcwade's second ascension doesn't really do it for me. Like, obviously I'm going to want Arcwade over Archetype Earth, but the royalty clothing question mark with the trademarked Takeuchi Blue, as my friend would say, just, it's kinda whatever. I really would prefer to just have, like, casual arc. That should, like, actually be a costume, but alas. Eventual Tsukihime collab, trust. So I checked, and my current SR servants that I'm missing are like 2 more Dobrynia Nikitiches. That's the second Xufu, just keeping track. 2 more Hephaestions, 1 Herc, and 4 Rolands. Also 1 Chiron, if I forgot to mention that. That's the entire list. Obviously for permanent servants, not like in general. Wow, that was, technically speaking, a min roll. Alright. So, Arcwade is kind of an interesting servant. Like, obviously, she is busted to hell. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Like, arguably the best farming servant in the game. Now, that said though, she deals extra damage against something, I think it's chaotic. But unlike every single other servant that exists around FGO really, it scales on NP level and not on overcharge. Which of course in a way makes it more useful, but on the other hand, it also makes it that extra NP levels matter just that much more. And with 90++ nodes coming out in the near future, she can do like a lot of those, but you need high levels, and that is the second arc. We are 2 and 2 for Xufu and arc. Can we keep it going? But yeah, like obviously extra copies are like a massive difference maker in that. And 90++ just really needs those high NP levels. I think next year's anniversary servant, which is considered like, and I don't want people to take this like as factual statements because I have not looked into it myself, just people that I trust have looked into it, and assuming I'm not misquoting them, next year's anniversary servant is like relatively cheap, all things considered, as like a 90++ neutral farmer as far as a regular class can farm neutrally, because obviously they're not going to be able to do one class, whereas Arc realistically does all of them because of being an extra class. But yeah, she's like reasonably cheap, as I understand it, only needing roughly NP3, which is obviously just kind of absurd. I don't have most of my SSRs at NP3, let alone limited servants. But like that's just the power level that we're talking when it comes to like... Okay, weird flex, but NP4 Hephaestion, I guess. But yeah, like... There's a reason why I'm not doing budget videos for 90++ once those happen, because they are not realistic. Like, there are some that are probably doable more budget-friendly than others, but like the assumptions start from you probably need to have meta servants to begin with, so that Welfares maybe can do some specific nodes here and there. And while I'm not specifically going to roll for servants to be able to do those, I do appreciate the fact that I'll hopefully get a few more arcways down the road here, like, immediately. I guess once I finally get all permanent SRs to NP5, I'll have to start tracking, like, which ones of them still need up-and skills instead, because that goes to, without Bond Grails, to 9 copies. Okay, well, that was a nice roll, except it critically lacked Xufus in there. If only I had some kind of a catalyst for Xufu, but I don't think I really do. It's not like I have any kind of U merchandise or anything in here. In the hypothetical that I would get 5 Arcwades, I guess I would actually have to stop rolling. I think Xufu is on the other, like, anniversary banners too, so in that case I could continue rolling there if there was something I wanted from any of those. But I think the only thing I probably want from there would be like more summer Shikibuus. And that's an SR, so that would be fine, I guess. But let's hope it does not come to that. Is that a third arc? No. Enkidu? What does an extra Enkidu do for me? That's a bit disappointing, honestly. I'm not usually too disappointed, but I would really like extra copies for a certain... when I finally have like an excuse to keep rolling after one copy. That would be NP5 Enkidu. We finally hit another one. We are one step closer to me actually getting USOs, because after all these years, all these rolls, question mark $50,000 later, I only have 1 USO, which is just kind of absurd because, as I understand it, long time, like, normal players, not like free-to-play players, but like even they like have an USO, but like normal spenders, more reasonable ones, have like multiple USOs, and I have 1 after all these years. It's, in a way, I guess it's a good thing, because that means that I've never gotten SSR servants that didn't directly benefit me, except that one time, and that one time was very stupid. Okay, that's the 3rd Xufu, 2 more. I'm not going to go for the extra copies that are needed for up-end skills. Those can wait. I don't think she particularly benefits from the last, or the other 2, basically. But mana loading is kind of important. Wait, Xufu is a permanent, so that's 15 per copy, so 5 copies is only 75 coins. And from bond levels you can get at most 80 without bond grails. It is enough, but you'll need like NP 6 or 7 to get it with, or bond 6 or 7 rather. So that's a bit annoying, but I'm not going to be using her for her NP for a while now. Once I get the 4th copy, I guess I'll throw in the 10 tickets. Doesn't really matter because I'm going to throw all 10 in anyways, but... On that note, once the Summer John banner rolled around, I did like a 10 roll in there, and I got NP3, so I guess complaining about the slightly smaller disaster that happened with Summer John back in the day in the previous roll video worked. It is truly miraculous how complaining always works. That's the 2nd... it would be a nice CE to max limit break, I think. I think it's one of those 60%ers, but I'm not specifically going to go for that. It's not worth that much. Double William. Lovely, where would I be without a double William? So then there's the Destiny roll, which when it first came out on JP a year ago, I remember that people were complaining about how it's bad, but like, no, it's pretty much a straight upgrade to a GSSR, provided you need like 3 or 4 servants from different classes. And to me it's just kind of silly that wouldn't be the case. And plus it's still like, well, not a free SSR, but it's basically about as close to a free one as it's gonna get. And then people talk about how it's like, whoa, they're so greedy because they're not giving anything to free players. Yeah, like, yeah, that is true. But it's also not taking anything away from free players, which I just always found very interesting how people would view that like as a personal attack like that. Like, you don't have to do it. I certainly will, because I'm not well enough to have NP5 of every servant in the game. That was a decent amount of pause. Could it be? Well, it could be number 4 on the Xufu front. So 1 more. Okay, well, 3 SSRs so far. And 4 Xufu, so I think that's a pretty reasonable ratio though. It should probably be upgraded to 3 Arcade specifically. I think that would be very nice. They're going to give me the 4th before I can get the last Xufu, aren't they? Just so they can try to make me roll for the 5th copy. Cope Scope. I think that's like my 4th, maybe even 5th Cope Scope, so I might even be able to max limit break it now. Oh, I'm so excited. Can't say I'm particularly impressed by that one. Speaking of this CE, we finally finish up playing through Melty Bloods, and we have now moved on to Extra, which allegedly is kind of bad. But we did see Alice in it, briefly. We're still very early on. Again, hefty pause. Are you Roland? No, Diarmudyadifni. Ugh. It is one step away from being a Fion McCumhale, my favorite servants. Maybe double Guardian of the Gardens? Nah. Didn't feel inspired enough for that one. That's a lot of gold in one roll, but none of it is good. Wanna do the tickets now. 10 of them at least. It doesn't really make a meaningful difference, but maybe it'll make me feel better about it. And there's the fourth. Should be less common than Xufu, by the way. It sure must be a weekend, because only after it was past 10 AM did they start playing loud music in the neighborhood. Why can't they do this at a reasonable hour? I don't know, but I'm annoyed because I'm trying to work, so to speak. And yeah, those tickets were the worst thing I've ever seen. Back to 10 rolls. Hefty pause. Herek attempts 2. Yeah, it's never happening. I could take the 5th copy with the Fate's Day Night commemoration one once that rolls around, but no. I will stick to my guns. I don't need NP5 Herc. Can't even skip because it wouldn't pause on Xufu, so then it would be just very anticlimactic like that. Can't help but take note of the lack of a 5th. Just as I predicted that would happen. I really don't want to, like, stop halfway through. Like, it would feel very stupid for me to not have 5 Xufus. But I also, like, can I keep on going? I'm not sure if I should. More Lancers. What, is it gonna be Bradamante? I guess that would be a bit too optimistic to expect another SSR. I hope Nesha didn't hit like an up and skill threshold. I guess one more, right? I think that's about 450 then. Well, I still always have the daily paid rolls, which I will definitely be doing because no matter what, I would like more copies of Arcade, even if those aren't very likely to happen. Oh, wait, there's one more chance. NP3. No. Is it Roland though? Okay. That's so funny though. All these years I've only had NP1. And out of all the times that I could finally get the second copy, it's when I'm rolling for the other Type Moon main heroine. That's so funny. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good place to stop it. However, there is the Destiny Order summon, so we are definitely doing that. Now give me just a moment for me to fill this up. Okay, I think this is it. It was actually surprisingly hard to sort this out. Like, some classes just don't have good options for me, ones that I would really particularly care for. In which case I guess I'll fall back on good old gameplay. Berserker is particularly interesting because, yes, Mysterious Heroine X Alter is here, but I already have her at NP5, so there's nothing I can do about that. And a lot of the classes servants just happen to be in extra classes, and that's why Extra 1 is actually the only permanent servant on this list, but it's technically not a good idea for me to have a permanent servant in there, but screw that. Jinako or bust. Well, out of this lineup, I think I would probably most prefer to see Jack de Moray, but it doesn't really matter. Like, it could be anything. It could even be 10 Jack de Morays. Apparently there are SR servants in here, including limited ones, so it is technically possible for me to pull like any limited servant just like that. Also, apparently there's 3-star story logs are in here too. That's a nice catch. Ooh, a Childore. I don't think I have enough of him to get all 3 uppens opened. Same is true for Jaguar Man, of course. Chinako. But not the Chinako I was expecting. I guess that probably disqualifies her. Kind of like with Basset in the GSSR. I guess I'm getting an upgrade to Small Vinci. Could be worse. Just doesn't have the same ring of elegance to it with that CE. Another nice one. I would have been a bit annoyed if that was Iso actually, since I did roll the extra copies to get all 3 uppens for him recently. And yeah, there we go. Alright, so the rolls went well. Except that Xufu is a bit too elusive for my tastes. But with that, I think I'm done here. I'll keep on doing single rolls on every day until I hopefully get more of something. But other than that, I wish you good luck on your potential arcade rolls. And if not, hopefully you'll be able to save those same quotes for summer. Yeah, we're done here. Too low.